Hi everyone, I'm Cheryl and welcome to the Sewing Room channel. In this tutorial, I'm going to demonstrate how to make a pair of elastic waist shorts with pockets. And I'm using a McCall's pattern M9046. The view that I'm making is this green pair of shorts right here. Now, all of the instructions that I give you in this tutorial will apply to all of the different views of shorts and pants that you see in here. I can't guarantee that you can find this pattern, but it's a very basic pattern. So just go to your pattern books, either at Joann Fabrics and Craft or any other store that has pattern books. Go to the section that has beginners patterns. They're usually labeled easy. Make sure you select elastic waist pants, not a zipper. Before you start selecting a pattern, you need to measure your body before you even go shopping for the pattern. Measure your hips, your waist, and your chest. Write those numbers down, and then when you go to look at patterns, you want to select a pattern that is near your particular size. On the back of the pattern, it lists the sizes. You look for your measurement, select that particular size, and it will tell you how much fabric you will need according to the View A shorts and your body measurements. There's also a section that will give you information about any or other supplies that you will need, and it will also tell you the recommended fabrics that you should use. When you open your pattern envelope up, you will get an instruction sheet plus your pattern pieces. You will need to use pattern piece number 1, which is your pockets, and pattern piece number 2. Now the pattern incorporates multiple different sizes on it. So you need to make sure that you cut out everything on the correct size. So review that whole piece. Now also there's all the different lengths of the patterns, different views I should say. So A goes down to here. So you're only going to use this part of the pattern. So you can cut this piece off, don't throw it away, put it back in your envelope, and if you want to use it for a different length later on, you still got this piece. Look for this section. This tells you how to lay your fabric out to cut everything, and it's according to the size of your fabric. If you have 45-inch wide fabric that you've purchased, you would lay your fabric out or your pieces out like this. If you have 60-inch wide, you'll lay it out like this. Now on the 45-inch wide fabric, they want you to fold it in half. On the 60-inch wide fabric, they want you to leave it completely unfolded. When you see dark shaded pattern pieces, that means that you're going to reverse it. In other words, on this one, you'll see the pants are lightly colored here. That's the front side. Then when you go to cut the second piece out, you flip it over where it's in reverse. You will also see it on the pockets. This is pattern piece number 2, the main part of the pants. On the front of it, you will notice little markings. You'll see a square here, and then you go over down here, you'll see a large circle. And then you go down and you'll see a smaller circle go across and you will see another circle. You will have those same markings on your pockets, and those are used for matching everything up so that your pockets are placed in the correct position. So what you would do is you would leave your fabric underneath your pattern after you've cut it out. With some tailor's chalk, you're going to mark your fabric. So all you need to do is just pull it back a little bit and then put a little blob of chalk right there so you know where to lay your pockets. On your pattern sheet, when you put your pockets together, when you get to step 2, I will be doing it just a little differently than it recommends here, but you can always do it exactly as it recommends in your pattern instructions. Now on your pattern piece for the pockets, it'll tell you to cut 4 out. So you'll have 2 pieces for each pocket. But I'm doing it just a little different. You can do it exactly like I just stated, or you can have a different type of fabric on the other side. So I've cut 2 out of this fabric and then 2 out of this color of fabric. And then you're going to bring front sides of your fabric together. So the pretty side of your fabric. Now my navy blue fabric here is canvas. It looks exactly the same on each side, but the check fabric is darker on the front side. So that's the prettier side. Bring those together. Pin around all of your edges, except right here, you're going to leave an opening. So you will not stitch over this area. So I will begin stitching here, back stitch, go down to the corner. Whenever you get to a corner, leave your needle down through the fabric, lift up your presser foot, turn your fabric, and continue stitching. Every time you come to a corner, you'll leave your needle in the down position, and then you will back stitch at the end. At all the corners, you want to go ahead and cut the corners down to about 1/8 of an inch wide. On this curved area of the pocket, you want to cut little slits. Now make sure you don't cut through your stitches, so do that all along here. Now reach in through your opening and begin turning it front side out. Once you have it turned front side out, you want to reach in and poke all of the corners out as best as you can. Then go to your ironing board and you're going to press your pockets flat. Also, while you're pressing, turn your edges in 1/4 of an inch and press this area flat. This next step is an option that I'm using to embellish the pockets. You don't have to do this, you can just skip this step. I'm using 1/2 inch wide double fold bias tape. And if you open it up, you'll see that it's folded several times inside and then it's folded again. Then as you look at it, once you close it back, you'll notice that the edges of both sides don't come exactly right together. They're not supposed to. So this is the shorter side here. This is the side that's going to go on top of the pocket or front side of the pocket. Now you're going to take this bias tape and you're going to put it along this curved edge here. This is the opening of your pocket when it's on your pants. And I'm using clips to hold it in place. You don't want to stretch it real hard across the fabric. You want it just to lay real nice and easy because you want to make sure this edge is not stretched too far so when you go to sew it down, you don't catch the underside edge. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this here, put these clips on it to hold it. When I get down here, I want to have about 1/2 inch past this edge here. Then I'm at the ironing board. I'm going to fold it over and then fold it back and press it nice and flat. And then fold it up over the edge, clip it down. Then you're going to stitch along this edge all the way around. This is the main part of the pants, and this is my bottom edge where the legs come out, and then up here at the waist. This edge and this edge, I used a serger sewing machine to trim and bind the edges so that they would not unravel. Canvas fabric unravels very easy. If you do not have a serger, use an overcast stitch from your sewing machine. For instance, this is an overcast stitch. So what you would do is you would overcast your edges when you're doing your seams. You would overcast the edges and also do your 5/8 inch wide seam. And then, of course, this is what a serger edge is. It stitches your seam and binds the edges together all at the same time. Now go ahead and put your pockets on your pants fabric on the front side, the pretty side of your fabric, making sure you have everything lined up. So this edge here where your hand goes through, this should be going towards the back of the fabric. How you tell what is the back side and the front side is that this is bigger over along here because it goes down underneath your crotch area, where the opposite side is very, very short. So that's where this side of the pocket goes. Go ahead and place pins along these edges right along here. Then you're going to stitch close to the edge on those 4 sides. So do a back stitch here, and then remember when you get to a corner, leave your needle down and turn your fabric and continue stitching, stopping up here and then back stitch. Now take them and you're going to bring the 2 inseams, the seams that go on the inside of your leg, bring those together. Go ahead and pin your edges together, and then you're going to stitch a 5/8 inch wide seam going in this way all the way down. And remember, do an overcast stitch on the raw edges. Take just one of your sections and turn it front side out. Now slip that leg into the other leg and line up your seams, your inseam. Then pin the 2 pieces together on the center seam area. Then stitch a 5/8 inch wide seam or use your serger, and if you are not using a serger, make sure you do an overcast stitch on the raw edges. Now pull it front side out. So this is what the shorts should look like at this point. If you do not have a serger, at the waistline area, you want to fold that top edge over 1/4 inch and press it. Because I've already serged my edge and it's bound, I don't need to worry about it unraveling. I'm not going to fold that edge over. Then you're going to create a casing, and you want to make sure that your casing is a little bit wider than the width of your elastic. Now the pattern calls for 3/4 inch wide elastic, so your opening needs to be about 1 inch. So you're going to fold it over, make sure it's a little bit wider than your elastic width. So after you've folded your casing over, you want to pin it down. But in the very back side of the shorts, I'm going to leave a little opening right here where I will be able to insert my elastic. So you want to go ahead and stitch right along near this edge of your casing, all the way around. So you want to back stitch here, and then you need to stop right here, and then of course back stitch. The instruction sheet says to cut a piece of elastic 1 inch longer than the size of your waistline. Then you're going to put a pin at the end of your elastic and then insert it in through your opening, pushing it all the way through until you come out to this other end, and then pull that end out. Overlap the ends of your elastic and then stitch back and forth several times along here. Push the elastic back inside the casing and then stitch the casing closed across here. We're now going to hem the pants, and so you want to fold the bottom edge over 1/4 inch and press it That's if you do not have a serger. I had a serger, which I finished my edges, so I'm not going to fold it over 1/4 of an inch. Then you fold it over 1 more inch and pin it down. Then stitch across this edge all the way around. So this is what the shorts look like on the front, and then this is what they look like on the back. Well, I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and that you learned something new. If you do not know how to read a pattern instruction sheet, there is a link to a tutorial in which you can learn how to read a pattern sheet. You just scroll down to the description section, click on Show More or the down arrow, and you'll see all kinds of links appearing. There'll be other beginners sewing projects listed down there also. Now don't forget to follow me on Instagram and check out my Facebook page. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time, and happy sewing. If you like the Sewing Room channel, one of the best ways to show your support is to subscribe by clicking on that red subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. And don't forget to click on share to share this video with your friends. And make sure you click on the bell so you receive notifications for all my new videos. I'm Cheryl. This is Manny, and this is Scotty. See you next time.